You are listening to The Audacity with Warren and Jme.
What days afterwards?
I don't know.
You might be like, oh, real fine. That's by day
Is that how
5.
people eat chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever seen people eat a Popeye's chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay. I was talking to a nigga today. He was like, that spicy chicken sandwich ain't even all that. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, it was hella dry. I said, you had the original? He said, yeah.
That's why.
I said, don't nobody ever order original.
But the chicken was. What is he talking about?
He said, it was so dry. I said, the spicy the best at Popeye's, period. I get spicy every day. Spicy tenders, spicy legs, spicy bread. Spicy bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. He was like, I got the original. I said, you fake for that. I said, and I can tell you from Philly, because y'all always eating that bland stuff. Y'all don't know nothing about real spice.
I'm like, Popeye's chicken has never been dry at all.
It's so good. I said, I said, you must have went to a Popeyes in Philly. He said, yeah. I said, that probably is disgusting.
Oh, damn.
To be honest, though.
Ugh.
I can't imagine eating Popeye's chicken in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia?
Nah.
No.
Because, I mean, think about it. Louisiana, Philly.
Philadelphia.
That make no sense.
The
You know
chickens
what I'm
don't
saying?
even grow the same down there.
Oh
I
my
don't want it.
god.
Think about all of the
Sounds
seasoning
terrible.
that just fell off the chicken.
That's just being transported up there.
Don't make
Because
no
you know they're
sense.
not making that shit up there.
No.
You can't keep it that spicy for that long. It's impossible. It's impossible.
It's got a shelf life. It just started dying. That's hilarious.
It gets less spicy.
Where is this being shipped from? I need to know before I order. That is hilarious.
Hello.
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 Hello to everybody.
Hey guys.
Oh, we're on.
You shouldn't have said that about Popeyes. You're such a mean person. We'll edit it. It's okay.
Yeah.
But this is the Audacity podcast. Yes, we're rolling. Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on?
How are you?
Okay, look. Y'all know how we like to do. First, before I talk about me,
Okay.
let's do some love and gratitude.
It's a good idea, man.
Yes.
You know, switch it up a little bit.
You guys, we love you. We're grateful. Thank you for support. We couldn't do it without you. You guys could have been anywhere.
You could have been literally anywhere else in the world. You could have been looking up cheap flights to Qatar. $78.
Guilty.
Yeah. You could have been figuring out, what's the quickest way to turn the sound off on your phone. There's a switch on the side. That's the quickest way. Yeah. Luckily, you didn't look it up. You're here. And we appreciate you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of
The Audacity.
Podcast. Man, what have I been up to?
What's going on, man?
So I told y'all last
What's
time.
poppin', B?
I told y'all last time I went on a cabin trip.
Yeah.
That shit was lit. Since then, I have not been on another cabin trip. I have been in my house chilling, making sure that we together. Yeah, I haven't been doing much. I'm really, really excited for this game that's coming out tomorrow. I love video games. For those of you who don't know.
Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah,
were playing video game.
I'm a gamer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You ever play Brawlhalla?
So what happened was, this game tomorrow that comes out. I'm like a gamer poser.
Oh,
right?
okay, got
like
you.
I
Okay.
like very specific niche games, and then people be like, "Yo, you play this? You want to play in this?"
They do that heat check. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you play games, huh?
You know I'm not a real gamer. People be like, "What's your online tag?" I'd be like, "Oh, I don't have no online." I'm a solo player. I play for me by me.
You playing the campaign only.
By myself.
Gotcha.
I don't really
Okay.
need to interact with nobody else. So yeah, that's pretty much been the highlight of my week. This week's kind of going by fast.
What's today?
Thursday.
Yeah, man, I thought it was Monday. I'm still in the past.
And that's living in a panorama.
Maybe I'm in the future.
You might be.
Might be. I don't know.
It's the Matrix. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Went to acting class this week. That was cool. Yeah, not much, man. I mean, doing it.
Lit.
I
I went to acting class. I also went to your acting
You
class.
did. Plot twist. They weren't expecting that.
Yo, so Jamie invited me to this improv class to audit the class.
Pull up, bro.
And so in my mind, audit me watch, just preview it. And then when I got in the car, he was like telling me the breakdown of how it goes. I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. I can't wait to watch. He said, spoiler alert, you're participating.
Yeah.
I said I was not prepared to do that.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most amazing experiences I've had
You did a great job, bro.
in this Panasonic.
I think you mentioned off camera that the instructor had complimented you on one of your improv choices.
Yes.
So yeah, man, you did great.
I was shocked and grateful. So yeah, it's been lit. So guys,
Yep.
we're coming up on March.
Is that now?
Yes, February. She's done. She's over.
Sheesh.
She's out of here.
Thank you, Black History Month.
We love you. And in preparation for Women's History Month, because March is Women's History Month. Shout out to all the women.
All of them.
All
Yeah.
of you.
Mm-hmm.
Except-
Hey,
Yeah, shout out to the women, except for Karen.
we brought a woman here today.
We're not shouting you out, Karen. You are excluded from this.
What about Black Karens? How do we feel about Black Karens? Do we
Also
acknowledge
excluded.
them?
Also excluded.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
not here for anything anti-black. You're out of here.
But I mean, they didn't really have any kind of decision on them being named Karen.
Oh, so they're not a Karen. Their name is just Karen.
Yeah, they're not a Karen. They're just
Gotcha.
Karen.
You're still invited unless I find out you're acting like a Karen.
All right,
But yeah, in preparation for Women's Month,
okay.
we have a very special guest.
We do.
The Nadia Anochie. We have the Nadia. People always ask us, like, oh, I love your pictures.
Yeah.
Who does your pictures?
Yeah. This is the person. Spoiler alert, it's her. Hi.
Hello.
Nadia. So tell the people a little about yourself. What do you do? Where are you from?
We're live.
Hello all. Hello all. My name is Nadia Anochie. You said Anochie. People say that all the time.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was laughing. I was like,
Is it from Ghana?
it is.
Oh, okay.
That would explain it. I don't know much about God.
Must have ran a
I'm,
background check on me or something.
I got my 32% ancestry came back, sub-Saharan African. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What part of that?
Oh, it's not about me. It's
Oh,
about you.
okay.
So,
Anyway, I'm a commercial product photographer based in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm actually from Atlanta, the city of Atlanta.
it's rare.
Oh, yeah, it is. We're like the last few here. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here, supporting my friend's podcast.
Gratitude. She is the magic behind the lens, guys. She is phenomenal. Check her page out. What's your photo page?
NadiaAnochie.com.
Go look at it right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Or
please
maybe
do.
after the episode. That'd be preferable.
Well, you can do both. You can do two things at one
Yeah,
time.
because
You have permission.
she's amazing.
Yeah,
Book her.
absolutely.
you.
Book.
There's even like you even have a YouTube page also where you kind of go
yeah.
through some of the ins and outs of your retail photography and kind of you putting together like the certain different pieces, right?
Yes, my YouTube is fairly new. I'm still figuring out how I want to, I guess, showcase my personality on there. I don't want it to be like a talk show, like, "Hey guys, I'm here," because that's just not me. But as of now, I have about three videos on there, just kind of showcasing the behind the scenes a little bit, just so you know, like the process of what I do.
Okay. Is that something you ever find yourself having to describe like a lot? Because when people think retail photography, they're like, "Oh, okay, there's a product, you take a picture of it." It's not like a thing. How often do you find yourself like having to kind of?
Oh, I get insulted all the time.
Oh, really? Oh.
By thinking that people think, "Oh, you just take a photo," and I'm just like, "Oh, well, I'll hand you my camera so you can
Right,
you can
just
take a photo." And they're like, "Oh, it's a lot more that goes into this." I'm like, "Yeah, it's years of expertise."
Yeah. So did you just kind of pick up the camera, one day, or did you study in a school or something like that?
I went to a program that was funded by the city called Art at Work. It was my first job. I was like 14 years old. It was a 6-week program. I did it 3 years in a row. And during those 6 weeks during the summer, we learned how to upholster chairs. We learned how to weld, photography. We learned painting, making mosaic furniture pieces. It was really fun. Yeah, and so that's when I discovered photography.
So you need Nadia in the apocalypse. She know that.
Legit.
When I heard weld, I said she's gonna build new structures for us. Our furniture, we need that.
Folks don't weld like that.
They
no
don't
more.
weld. That is amazing.
That's incredible.
That's what actually started me on furniture design
Okay.
before I did photography. So I used to build furniture and stuff like that.
Because you
okay.
went to SCAD for that. Gotcha.
For industrial design and furniture design.
Oh, okay.
The talent. And then when did you transition over into photography? When did you fall in love with that?
Actually, I always loved photography, but for some reason I convinced myself that I couldn't make money doing it. So I was like, okay, I'll study industrial design because with that title alone, I'll be able to get more jobs.
Right.
And then I want to say in the middle of that, I decided to minor in furniture design because that's also what I wanted to do. But with industrial, under that umbrella, furniture design falls under that. So I just minored. And then I realized, I don't want any of these jobs that are out there.
No, thank you.
Change my mind.
Job?
Yeah.
Damn job?
Yeah, I didn't want choking. I didn't want any of the corporate jobs, because within industrial design, you're like on a team, and so like I have water.
Okay,
Thank you. I'm not saving myself.
Do you think?
One example from one of my classes, we had to redesign like a computer mouse. And my professor was like, if you want to get really good at that, draw 300 versions of this and show me all 300 in 2 days. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna master this. So I did all 300, and I showed him.
I did all 300.
I did all 300. I did.
48 hours later.
Did all 300, and came back up. We displayed it. Apparently, I was the only nutcase in the class that decided to do this. Everyone's like, "Oh, you actually did it." He put them all up, showcased, and he was like, "Oh, these are great. I do 300 more." And I was like, this is not for me.
I see what you're trying to do.
Right,
No,
yeah.
thank you. No, I'm good.
Yeah,
bro.
anybody else in here do this shit?
But that was the whole process of industrial design. It's like you're always like mastering what
Gotcha,
you've already
gotcha,
created. And I was
gotcha.
like, I just want to solve the problem. I don't want to keep doing this. So.
Gotcha.
Do you find that, like, I guess, how much of your industrial design work do you find in your product photography?
It's probably 50-50. I love set design, so I'm always kind of creating different sets and scenes for my photography, and then building them out to create little elaborate visual pieces. So It never left me. I just didn't want to do it full time.
Right. No, that's dope.
It's real.
Okay, guys. Since it's Women's Month, in honor of the month of women,
Women get a month, huh?
Oh,
That's what's up. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. You know, I'm just saying after observing how society is towards women, because we all know how it is.
facts.
I was ready to take offense to that.
Come on now. Like she don't listen to the podcast.
In honor of Women's Month, we're going to do a segment called Women That Inspire Us. Just kind of to honor the women that have played like any kind of influential role in your life, like made any impact, inspired you. So I'll kick it off. And this is a recent inspiration, y'all. I didn't even really pay much attention to this amazing woman. I met her recently. My Woman of the Month, my inspiration is Lori Harvey. Because sis, if you ever have a TED Talk, I know, and one of the reasons I really respect her is because she's quiet. She's like, I'm not explaining myself. I'm not sharing my trade
I've never heard her
secrets.
voice ever. No
Real
idea what she sounds
talk,
like.
I don't know what she sounds like. I just know what she looked like and her track record. And let me tell you something. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Sis, write a book. Do a spinoff from Steve's book. What women should really be doing to bag these niggas and then leave them. That's what I want. That's what, Lori Harvey, you inspire me. I too want to be a bad bitch. That's it. That's all I want.
So with this inspiration, what do you find yourself doing with Lori Harvey in the back of your mind?
Yeah, fuck these niggas. That's what I'd be like.
Okay.
I'd be like,
all right.
you see these niggas, you get with these niggas, you leave these niggas until you get to the nigga you really want to be with. Amen. All right. Yes. Thank you, Lori. That's my Woman of the Month.
Okay.
Who's
all
next?
Right. Nadia?
Well, I would like to be a little bit more wholesome with my answer. No, I would just have to say my mom. And I know that's pretty cliche to say, but like anytime I think of that, she's always the first person that pops into my mind. And just growing up, she's a single mother, and just seeing all the stuff she went through to get to where she is now. Like she finished college when we were in high school. Just seeing that she still has dreams, going after them, whether it be creating a business or figuring out how she wants to help the family grow. It's just nonstop. And whenever I think about all the stuff that she had to do for 3 kids, I was just like, how? Where did you get the energy for all of this? Because I could never.
Yeah.
But yes, I would definitely say my mom.
That's
Real
what's up.
talk. Shout out to all the moms.
All of them.
Real talk. 'Cause, oof.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Speaking of, I'm actually I'm gonna get 2.
Okay.
Just because
What?
it's our podcast.
We love a twofer.
Who doesn't? So I'm gonna kind of copy the sentiment and also say my mom is one of the people that inspire me. My mom came to America as a German immigrant, so kind of just knowing her realities as far as trying to find your own identity in a world where not a lot of families. She was adopted into a family.
Right.
So kind of having that perspective of like, hey man, you can like do X, Y, and Z, because my mom, she was one of the main members of the family that was kind of growing our business as I was growing up. So, you know, and then even like making like, you know, just different choices and sacrifices, kind of like you had mentioned, you know, throughout her life. It's kind of hard not to go a little bit hard when you know what the people around you are doing and what they're doing for you. You know what I mean? Second woman, you know, some of you may know her. J. Rochelle.
Yes. The icon.
The icon.
Okay.
We actually got a couple of her pictures up in here.
Who is
Posted.
that?
She's a photographer. She's actually right there.
Oh.
She's a photographer friend of ours. She's out in Seattle, but just to say she's a photographer, you know, doesn't really do her justice. Just a creative storyteller,
Survivor,
designer, all the things, poet. You know, and you know, she had spoke at Harvard for a couple of different events. You know, and just seeing what, you know, but she went to college with us, and she's from Macon. So, you know, about like an hour and a half north of Albany, Georgia, where I went to high school. So kind of, you know, having, you know, that kind of also beacon of, you know, inspiration and creative light, you know, inspires me. So
that's lit.
Thank you.
I also feel like now I should say my mom, because everybody that said their mama. You know, I'm like, damn, hey, mama, you an inspiration. Okay, I did it.
That's what's up.
Yes. What's next?
So next is, you know what's next. You know, they know what's next.
What's next?
Real news.
Y'all know this is my favorite segment.
Real mother news.
And this particular segment, I just got some news today. It made my fucking week, y'all.
Okay.
So Nickelodeon has announced that they will be creating a division called Avatar Studios, dedicated to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yes, y'all, Avatar: The Last Airbender. For those of you who have been following that cartoon since like the beginning, and those of you who are more recent fans because they recently put it on Netflix, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then Korra, the sequel. I'm super excited. Everyone knows that the movie that they came out with, the M. Night Shyamalan did.
Yeah, wasn't that good?
Fuck. If I ever see him, I swear to God, it's not many people when I'm on site that I really mean that. On site, M. Night Shyamalan.
You don't rock with M. Night?
I'll beat your motherfucking ass. You like took an integral part of my childhood and you ruined it.
Yes.
You fucking ruined. And then in the interview I saw him doing, he was like, "Oh, but I'm a fan of the show." No, I can't tell. So yeah, y'all, they will be creating a whole division dedicated to movies, new stories, all dedicated to the Avatar universe. I'm hyped. I can't wait to see what comes out next.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
I mean, of course you are, but I mean, I had watched a little bit of the show. It was good while I was watching it, but you know, I don't be doing the same thing for too long. But do you watch the Avatar Airbender? What are your thoughts about the new movie coming out?
I'm excited because, like you said, the first one was trash. I was deeply disappointed.
Trash.
No one was Asian except for the actual like the Indians. But I'm just like, where are the Asian people? It's just, no.
Make sure you guys get some Asian people in that movie.
Yes.
Diversity matters.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad, guys. Also coming out in the news. I'm sorry, not in the news, but in real news. Coming to America 2 is next week.
I can't wait.
Finally.
Bro, I feel like since I've heard that it was happening, I feel like it's been ages.
It's been a long time.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know what to feel about.
You're nervous?
I don't even know.
I'm nervous.
I'm anxious, but I don't want to be too, because you know, if it's bad, then it was like, oh, you was looking forward for this, you know, then that's the whole letdown.
Right.
I think everybody's just on edge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is Coming to America 2.
I just don't want it to be cheesy because sometimes, like when they try to recreate, it's really cheesy, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be so heartbroken.
Yes, I'm hoping it gives me like Best Man Holiday, because just like Coming to America, I think it came out in 1999. The Best Man, the original, I think came out around the same year, 98 or 99.
Wait, hold on. You're saying Coming to America came out in 99?
When did Coming to America come out?
It was
80. 89.
Like 86, 89?
I would say 80.
I think I was one when it came out. I think it is 89.
Go ahead and with
Yeah. So when movies come out, like The Best Man came out in 99, then it took them forever to do a sequel, and when they did, like Best Man Holiday, y'all, it was amazing in my opinion. And so I really am wishing all the success for Coming to America 2. It's funny, Arsenio Hall was recently doing an interview. He said him and Eddie were out at a coffee shop, and they were getting their coffee, and the barista was like, "Hey man, don't fuck up my movie. And they were like, damn, we just tipped you $100. Come on, man. He was like, we got you. It's gonna be good. So like, I saw the trailer. It looks amazing.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Great. It's like it's got some things in it. I don't know about great. Because the trailer is one of the things that kind of makes me nervous.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of people in it.
Yes, that is true.
There's a lot of different personalities in it. There's a lot of characters in it. Characters as far as not just people saying, hey, Martin Luther King this, whatever. But it's more like strong personality and strong characters that I don't think anybody's going to upstage Arsenio and Eddie Murphy.
Right.
I'm on edge. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll be staying tuned. It's coming out next Friday. We're super excited. We want to hear all your thoughts, so let us know, DM us, hit us up, tell us what you thought about the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Also coming out in real news, the same day it's coming to America too, Raya the Last Dragon. It's a new Disney movie.
Is that a Bruce Leroy kind of situation or
slick? While you playing, did you see the trailer
for
Raya the Last Dragon?
No.
Okay, so yes, actually, it's from the same people that made Moana. Moana was a huge hit. It's from the same producers. It's about a girl who lives in a world that's kind of fractured. There are like 4 different divisions, and she's part of a society that tries to keep the peace. But some shit goes wrong, and she ends up having to find the last dragon in this society. The dragon's played by Awkwafina, which I think is hilarious.
Yes.
I love Awkwafina. She's so funny.
the water bottle?
Awkwafina, the actress.
Oh, okay. Oh, the actress. Got you.
Awkwafina, the actress.
Got you.
And the trailer looked really good. It looks really funny. It's kind of like a standard, heroes trying to save the day and trying to keep the peace in a society. And I love Moana. I love strong female character leads, and I think it's a great movie to come out with during Women's Month.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
Another movie come out. I just saw in the little details over here. By the way, Coming to America 1 came out in 1988.
88.
Oh, year I was born.
Hey!
You didn't know.
I know, but I'm excited.
Okay. All right.
Let him live.
So, we talked about Marvel. This wasn't on the list.
Okay.
So we talked about Marvel.
Yes.
A good bit because they do all the things. Black Panther was about 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Black Panther came out about 2 years ago. 2 years and 2 weeks now, right? But we all know somebody was missing from all those Marvel movies that came out. Wesley Snipes specifically. The Blade character wasn't in any of the Marvel movies, even though he's in that universe in the comics. So Wesley Snipes is making his own Blade Killer movie instead.
Are you serious?
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Not the movie, but the.
This is interesting, guys, because Mahershala is playing the new Blade in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He is.
And Wesley has decided, in protest maybe, to come out with his own Blade.
Maybe. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for the mess. I can't wait to see whose is better. Period.
I don't know. I feel like they should have brought Wesley back because he's the original. Like, why would you not bring him in and then have him grandfather someone else and Mahershala is not Robin Hood. It's like, not Robin Hood, but Robin.
Disney has a very strict morality clause, and when Wesley went to jail, they might have been like, "Bye, nigga." Like, we ain't dealing with that. Disney quick to get rid of a nigga.
Well, he was also kind of he also had some arguments with Ryan Reynolds on the set of Blade 3. So he had but people were saying he was kind of. Somebody said that Wesley Snipes had threatened to choke Ryan Reynolds at a certain thing. It was like a whole little thing.
I would pay money to see that.
But Wesley Snipes was like, "Look, I'm a dark-skinned black man in America. If I would have threatened to choke Ryan Reynolds, it would have been a whole nother situation."
I'd have been in jail and not for taxes. Okay.
Exactly.
Like,
but
that's
yeah.
interesting.
Which part?
Just that he's doing his own.
Oh yeah.
Blade Killer. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm Team Wesley only because it's the original. Mahershala, I love you, but I ain't seen you do Blade.
That's gonna be interesting though. The Mahershala. I'm curious to see his actor choices.
I hope they come out the same day. I just want it to be messy as fuck. Go ahead.
After you.
Okay. Also, real news. Something that's new that's coming out. One of Jamie's favorite actors. Is getting his own Netflix series.
Kendrick Lamar got a series? Hell yeah.
He acts.
One of his favorite actors. Yeah, he be acting like he don't need to drop another album. That's what he be acting like. Kendrick,
Come on now.
Now we love you.
And
We can hate you easily.
Kendrick also is an actor. FYI, he was in a couple episodes of Power as a an informant.
Never seen Power.
Never know.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. But I know he was in it.
I saw those scenes with Kendrick was in.
And that's what you call a real fan, y'all. That's a real fan.
But somebody else apparently
Yes.
has a show.
One of your favorite actors, Jamie Foxx, is getting his own Netflix series. He's going to be playing like a dad.
Oh.
I'm excited because I love the Jamie Foxx show.
You should be so excited.
And I'm
David.
so
That's
excited
awesome.
to see him like return to like, you know, the TV screen. And I know you can't wait to watch it and like give your feedback about it.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. You know, so here's the thing. It's not that I think the show is gonna be really good. So this is a whole thing. Some people don't get the thing like, yeah, of course, like yeah, Jamie Foxx, yay. They got the same name, cool. No, I have my own reservations when it comes to seeing some of the other Jamie's, some of his work. From an acting perspective, super talented guy.
Yeah.
I just hold my own reservations about it.
So if y'all saw the last episode, I told Jamie he should get a publicist, and obviously he's gotten one.
It's cleaned up
This
version.
cleaned up. Go back and listen to some other podcast episodes because this was not it.
I mean, the thing is, this sitcom, it's a sitcom, right?
Yes,
That's his bag.
it is.
So this is outside of the realm of
Yes.
mediocrity that some people talk about.
Mediocrity.
I can't wait. We're hype about it. You're hilarious.
It's gonna be a great show
Yes.
to talk about. But yeah, so with that being said, and kind of relating also to the Mahershala Wesley conversation, creative conflicts is our next segment.
Yes.
I had mentioned on the last episode a little bit of set drama that occurred. Not too much, right? But just sometimes you can as a creative yourself, right? As a creative yourself and ourselves, sometimes we work with other creatives because we inspire each other, all the things. Do you ever have you ever had any kind of conflicts with other creatives that you're working with?
Not really. Nothing like heated or anything, but like most of the times creatives don't really stick to like a set schedule or can be that organized. I've learned to be very methodical in how I get things done. So when I come across like, I guess, a free spirit creative, I'm just like, this is not going to work. I'm going to go insane. So I weed myself away from those situations. Luckily, so far.
I imagine also that as a photographer being like, it's more of like a solo kind of thing. It's not usually 2 or 3 photographers on one product, right?
Yes, typically one photographer. You may get like a creative director, a set stylist, a wardrobe stylist, someone to keep, what are they, like the set coordinator. So everyone has to be working all together, but if you get someone slacking or someone just not doing something, you have to kind of pick up the slack, because if you're the photographer, then it's on you to kind of get the shot no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Because nobody really asks about like, hey, so who was the set design person in this shot? It's always the photographer no matter what.
And even like, when we talk about creative conflicts, like sometimes even having conflicts with clients, like about vision or like things that maybe weren't communicated as well or stuff like that. Because I'm sure like stuff like that has happened.
Oh, yes. Plenty of times.
Plenty of times.
Yeah. And I definitely think like the best way to do a conversation is like clear, precise communication. Like, this is what I want. This is what I need. Especially early. Like, address shit as soon as you can. Because typically I feel like what happens with like creatives, with people in general, is like you are in a situation where some shit is not going well, but you're not addressing it. And so then it just kind of like builds because people don't like always want to be confrontational.
Right.
And like you said, a lot of creatives I feel like are free spirits.
Yeah.
And so that may not be a comfortable vein for them. And but yeah, no, you need to address that shit immediately.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
I mean, thinking back to some of my experiences, like it kind of lives in the area of some creators also. Everybody's kind of sensitive when it comes to our creative choices and our ideas, right? Because this is just it's in my head until it's not,
Right.
and now it's here, and now it's ours, and now
Right.
if you say a thing, now it's like, oh, I should have said that, So and sometimes creatives communicating with each other can be kind of if they're not on the same frequency or if they're not the same type of creative, like some creatives, are, a good amount of creatives are, introverts, just, just like in the regular world.
Right.
So, if they're introvert and not really looking to, bring up the conflict, like you said, then it might be like it will fester, but, it still comes out because that energy in everything is still there.
Right. How do y'all deal with conflict?
I try to stay away.
She's like, I don't.
I don't deal.
So I think I observe, and I try to sometimes look to see that person's perspective, to see, whether if it was like something towards me, then I'm like, okay, let me see, was this intentional? If it wasn't intentional, there was still like an impact to it. Is it something I need to address, or is it something that is about me? Even if it is about me, trusting myself and saying like, okay, you know what, I was affected this way by it, so I could either choose to say something and or I could choose not to and just know that that's how this person is, and whether work with them or not work with them, or just move forward from there.
Right.
So basically, just taking like an inventory of whether it be the situation, how I feel about the situation, and do I feel like it was resolved? Because sometimes we might address it like you had mentioned, but not if we're not doing anything about it. We just said like, hey guys, there's spilled milk on the floor,
right?
And that was it.
People just sliding through.
Everybody just sliding on spoiled milk.
Now it's been spread every goddamn where.
And it stank.
And it stinks. That's my part. Like,
stank.
Why you stank? It stinks. Why like it's important to deal with stuff immediately. I'm gonna give y'all some game for those of you who don't know how to deal with conflict, and this is free. You don't have to buy my book that's coming out.
But you do have to buy a candle.
Please do. Thank you so much for those of you who have. It's called ESS. Empathize, Summarize, Solve. It is the best way to deal with conflict. You sit in it, you talk to the person that whoever you have conflict with, you empathize with how they're feeling first. Because it takes you kind of out of your feelings. It does. You are now putting all the emphasis on like, how did you feel? I really want to understand. I want to empathize with you. And when you empathize with others, they're more likely to empathize with you. Empathize and summarize. This was my experience. This is what I saw that happen. I'm summarizing the issue. And then solve. What are we going to do about it? Yeah. Can we move forward? Do we, like you said, do we need to part ways? What can we do to get over this hump and move the fuck on?
Yeah.
ESS. All right, y'all.
That's great.
Thank
that
you.
is really good.
I used to counsel people.
They don't need counseling anymore?
I don't know. Hell. Figure it out, y'all. Shit. I'm tired.
You can't do everything.
Oh my God.
We told y'all that last week. You can't do it all.
Right. I'm in a panorama. I can't do it. Okay. So yeah.
That's dope. Great tips, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Those are some best practices for whenever you're having some creative conflicts.
Yes.
Have to use
with that being said, we're gonna get into our guest segment.
Yes.
This is all about you. I don't know if you know, but we're gonna be talking about you.
Oh God,
Yes.
no.
Yes. So we do have some questions. Some of them actually came from people that knew we were gonna have a woman who owns her own business, who is an entrepreneur, and they want to, these are questions they want to know. So let me get my list.
Sit up straight.
Okay. So I know before you started your business, because we know each other outside of this, you were working in corporate America, like a lot of people. All of us, work in a space because, we got bills to pay. And a lot of people are in positions where, like, they don't necessarily want to be there. They're not passionate about it. And they aren't necessarily in the best position or maybe, like, aware of how to move out of that. So my first question for you is, how has life balance changed since leaving corporate America? Because a lot of people are like, I don't have time, or I'm too busy, I'm too tired when I get off work, I can't do this. Like, I wish I had more like work-life balance. If I was my own boss, I'd make my own schedule and it'd be better. No, seriously, this is what people think. And so I'm very curious to see what your experience has been since being a business owner. What does that look like?
It's definitely more freeing. I do work more than I did when I had a corporate job, but I mean, if it's something that you love to do, you're going to make time to do whatever. It takes time to develop time management skills. Time management
Tell that to
is
him.
important. But I did realize at the time, I was like, oh, okay, I can make my own schedule. If I want to get up at a certain time every day, I can do that. If I want to accept calls on certain days, I can do that. You really do get to make your own schedule, but you do also have to make time to spend with other people, because I could work all year and not see anyone because that's just how my mind works. It's like sometimes if I'm working too much, I forget to eat. I'm like, okay, Nadia, you got to get it together. So it's freeing, but it's also a lot too. It's overwhelming because you're in charge of everything.
So you would say you have to be intentional about the balance.
Very intentional about
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's dope. So I mean, so how long have you been your own entity?
For about a year now.
Whoa!
I know, right?
Congratulations!
Happy anniversary! Yes!
I'm 1 year old.
1 years old. So I guess what was the catalyst that kind of was like, you know, how did you kind of, you know, did you kind of be like, you know what, I don't need that, I'm the one, and you just get my, or did you, you know, what was the kind of what kind of put you in the space where you're like, you know what, I'm about to go do this myself.
Well, I had been planning on like doing, you know, everybody dreams about their exit. Like, I'm out of here. Don't call me, you know. I didn't get to do that. Actually, I had planned to, so I got let go like literally around this time last year after the camping trip.
Bastards.
I was like, oh, okay, good thing I went on vacation first, you know. But I had already planned on leaving the summer, I guess, when COVID hit. So I got let go right before COVID. And I was like, okay, well, it was a sign because I was already going to leave. And so that was the catalyst. But I had been planning for a year or two before then, just because I was ready to just leave. You know, especially being a creative in corporate America, it's very, very draining. Very draining.
So when because you were planning to make your exit, so were you immediately going to go into, you know, photography full time? Did you have like another plan? Like what was that?
Well, I was always doing photography on the side, but I could just never figure out how to make money. You know, because most people are like, oh, you know, keep making money in your side hustle until your side hustle pays all your bills. But they don't tell you how to actually do
How to monetize it.
So I went out and found a mentor. Her name is Tamara Darden. Look her up on Instagram. And she's a Black woman that specialized in helping other Black women learn how to make money in photography. And I was like, I had not seen this anywhere.
Yes.
You know, because there's not many Black people, or especially Black women in photography industry anyway. And so when you see these seminars, it's like, oh, pay $1,000 and learn all you need to know to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in your dream. And it's like, okay. And so I worked with her like toward the end of 2018. 2018? 2019. No, end of 2019. So I got on with her like October 2019.
Before you got laid off.
Before I got laid off. And I went through her entire like course. I learned the structure, foundation, everything I needed to know to rebrand my business. And just to restructure everything. So when January hit, I was prepared to start marketing myself as a product photographer. You know how to pitch to clients. I knew how to email people. I couldn't get jobs right away, so I was like, okay, let me not be stagnant and procrastinate. Let me just do creative products on my own so people know I'm here and they know what I'm doing. And so based off of that initiative, I then began to get jobs because people were like, oh, you're a product photographer in Atlanta. I need product photography. And that's
doing the work.
Yeah, and that's how my career kind of took off. And it really grew in COVID, actually, because people were at home. So they're like, we need digital content. So it was actually the perfect time, which is why I was like, I'm glad they let me go.
Look at God.
That's amazing.
Right.
One of the things I'm hearing in that is, you know, you kind of taking yourself. It took a while for you to kind of take yourself seriously in that space. You know, not just as a photographer, but as a photography business, right? And that you're providing a service. And you kind of had to like go through the ins and outs and like all the little details that creatives, you know, usually don't want to kind of go through. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of creatives want to know how to, you know, not a lot of creatives, because of that free spirited kind of, you know, vibe or whatever. You know, they might not know how to, you know, have a business plan or pitch to clients, or, you know, figure out how to get clients, you know, figure out where their clients are, who is their demographic, you know, all these little different questions that you ask yourself in that process, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work. I think Tamara in her process, she called it the unsexy part of owning a business. And that's like doing spreadsheets, you know, writing out email templates, making sure your customer service and all that is good. You know, you have to be 100% from beginning to end. And I was willing to do that work. And so whenever I come across other creatives that, they just want that, like, oh, can I shadow you? Like, just show me what you do. And it's like, I can show you, but you're not going to have the same success because you're not willing to do the other extra work that I'm telling you about. So when I see other people that aren't really valuing the information I'm giving them, I'm like, okay, well, you're not ready. Because I was like, it's this or nothing. You have to be that way, especially when you don't have a steady income coming in like that.
Right. So I hear drive, intentionality, real commitment. You have to commit. I want to talk a little bit about, I know there are a lot of people listening that, too want to like grow in whatever passions they have, but we all have reasons for why we don't necessarily step out there or do any things. So when you were working in corporate America, and like you said, you were doing photography on the side, you knew that's something you wanted to move towards. And I'm sure we all have reasons why we don't do things maybe as soon. What were some of those reasons? And after you did start your business, were any of those reasons valid?
Oh, okay. So the major reason I did not, I guess, do what they all do on social media, like, I'm leaving my job, and I'll figure it out. Like, I'm a planner. I have to know what's going to happen after I leave my job, because I have savings, but it's like, okay, what if my savings run out? Then what am I going to do? So it's like that's something that always kept me from making that jump, because I couldn't really visualize what the next step was. And I have a lot of mentors, and that's something that you should do. Find mentors in the things that you're interested in, because they can always give you advice. And my mentor from my furniture design history, he was like, just get out there, as soon as you get out there, you get that hustle, and you'll start working. And I was like, but I need a plan.
I need generalized coaching session.
He was like, go.
He was like, you've been doing this for, like, just do it. Like, you'll find clients, get out there, hit the pavement, and I was like, but I'm not a people person. Who do I talk to? And so you really have to figure out how to do it on your own. And so, like, that first step was me finding Tamara, who's that mentor. And so she prepared me to the point to where I'm like, okay, whether I quit my job or I lose my job, I know what else I need to do after that happens. And that is something that stopped me. And, when you include the effort and the work that I put in to, like, create my own business, create my own content, so that business was coming to me, that's when I realized, oh, okay, now I see how clients come to you. And because I already know how to talk to people, I'm prepared for that. So what is that saying when it says, when
preparation
meets opportunity,
yes,
that's luck.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's what I experienced, because if I hadn't have done that and I just started, doing product photography willy-nilly and people were contacting me, I wouldn't have known how much to charge them or what to do with this money. And because of that, I was like, okay, I need to hire a lawyer, I need to hire an accountant. So you have to put all of that in place. And because then I didn't know about that, I'm like, I can't just quit my job. What am I gonna do?
Right.
And I mean, from our experience, once we kind of got in your process of starting the retail photography, about the candles that you guys should purchase, it felt like a higher quality of an experience, and that kind of added to us thinking like, oh man, like when other clients come to her, they probably are like, oh yeah, thank you for having this process, as opposed to us just having like a regular email or regular conversation or something.
And it makes people want to continue to use you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, professionalism, I think a lot of people take that for granted. Like you were saying earlier, customer service is key. Like, I don't care how good you are. Don't nobody want to work with somebody that's unorganized, flippant, rude, like your shit's not together. Because, I mean, our shit not going to be together.
Yeah. I would say the best advice I got to compare to customer service, it may only apply to me because I'm in photography, but this woman, she's a photographer, she said that she approached her business the way that wedding photographers approach theirs. Like, so if you're a wedding photographer, and most of the time they work with their clients for an entire year. They do the engagement photos, they do, first looks. So if you have a wedding in December, they're working with you from January. And so they have checkpoints throughout the different months. Like every 3 months, they may send you like a gift, like, or an outline of like what you should do, like prepare for this, we're excited about this. It's like different touch bases that they do. And then like after that first year, they send you a gift, like, oh, happy anniversary. It's like you kind of carry the customer or client all the way through to the next.
Right.
And I was like, dang, I need to be doing that, you know, to make them feel like, okay, I want to work with her, make her memorable.
Right.
You know,
It's relationship building. It's
Yeah.
key.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I got another question. This for all, you know, the people that might be trying to shoot their shot.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, we hear a lot about like women that are, you know, they make their own money. They own a business. They're out here like, you know, building a brand, and how sometimes it's hard to date, right? Do you find that since you've been an entrepreneur, businesswoman, that it's been difficult to date? Is dating even something like a focus of yours while you're trying to build a brand? Like, what has that been like?
I would say yes and no as far as focus. But I don't know how serious I am about it, because it's like I'm very focused in building my business right now, and like I'm finding that entering into my second year, I'm getting busier, and so I would, if I were going to date, I would definitely need someone that's doing the same thing, so that I wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm busy, you know.
Right.
And so when it comes to dating, it's like whether I was doing this business or not, like I'm always motivated, dedicated to something. I'm always learning something, doing something. So if I'm with someone that is really just kind of content with just the everyday, like, oh, I go to work, I come home, watch TV, go to work, come home, watch, like, and there's nothing else, no new plan, no drive, you know, to do something else, it's like I can't really relate to that.
Gotcha. Would you say that the type of partner that you're looking for since becoming a business owner, has that changed?
No, it's still the same. I mean,
Okay.
like, you don't have to own your own business, but like, since I'm someone that's constantly growing and constantly trying to learn something, that's interesting to me.
Gotcha.
Because there's so much that we don't know. You know, so many places I've never traveled. So it's like, if you're not questioning anything, what are you doing? You
Right.
know, so.
And I think that speaks to, like, you know, you kind of already having that same kind of mindset. You know, a lot of people don't really realize that they're in that they have that entrepreneurial spirit, you know, even though they might be working at a, you know, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever it is. So, you know, you already having that mindset, you already, you know, you still, you know, have the same internals, even though you're not, you know, doing the thing yet. So, so that makes sense. I have a question. Getting a little bit to the art a little bit. What was there like a particular moment where you recognize your area of genius, or was it like like at a certain point you're like, you know what, you think about, like, you know, taking pictures here and there, but at a certain point you decide, like, okay, I'm going to start a business. That's a whole nother thing. And then starting a business saying, like, yeah, it's going to be in retail photography, right? So was there like any like time span or like a particular shot that you did where you're like, oh wow, that was a really dope shot by me?
I'm the shit.
Right.
Oh, I was interpreting that question differently. Well, I have two answers for that. I would say the first time I noticed my genius was when, in the art program I told you guys about earlier, I created, so we reupholstered some chairs, and one of the mentors there, he helped me. I drew out this design, and I was going to hand paint it, never painted anything in my life. But he's like, oh, I'll make a stencil for you. And so he made a stencil, and I painted it, and the shape was really organic, and basically it symbolized two people kind of back to back, you know, not facing each other. And then it's like their heads were a circle, their bodies were like curvature lines, and then at the bottom they kind of the legs kind of formed into like a really abstract heart. And the whole piece was all about relationship and connecting and coming back. I was like 14. I was like, I just kind of came up with this.
And when I said area of genius, she looked at me like I was crazy.
She was like, yeah.
And it's just something that kind of came to me, and I just really thought it was cool. And then it wasn't until I saw the reaction of other people, I was like, oh, this is
Right.
special? Okay,
It is
cool.
dope, isn't it?
Right.
That's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, and and we had to write a pice about it, and a lot of people bid on that, but I was like, my mom is taking this home. I don't know what.
Does she still have it?
Yeah, still in the house.
Your mom was in the back like, don't y'all touch that. back, that's mine. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the first time I realized that I guess I thought differently, or I saw things differently. But when it comes to the photography, I think that it wasn't until my mentor, he was like, have you ever printed out your work? And I was like, no, not really. It's, digital. you know, I'm not an analog girl. I'm living in the digital world, you know. And he was like, you should print out your work. You got to see it. And so he surprised me one day. He came. He told me he was going to do it, but I didn't know when. So he printed off some of my work, and that was the first time I'd seen it, like, hung in the studio. And you guys have seen some of the stuff on display, and I was like,
Incredible.
wow,
Beautiful.
I did these, you know. And that was the moment for me. I was like, I didn't realize how impactful that would be to see it, like, face to face.
I love that.
Yeah.
One more question. What advice would you give up and coming photographers?
Up and coming photographers. I would say find a mentor, a real mentor, because it gets creepy out there in the photography street.
Creepy.
Yeah, especially if you're a woman photographer, find a legitimate mentor. And I would say if you're serious about your business, do your own work, research when it comes to YouTube, look into contracts, look into protecting yourself, because a lot of people out here will try to take advantage. In my earlier years, people definitely tried to take advantage of me, and I was like, aha, this contract though. Definitely be secure in your worth when it comes to what you want to make, because I don't care if you want to say my service costs $1 million. That's my services. You know, don't let anyone else tell you that you shouldn't be doing something that you want to do. So that's my advice.
That's
to
amazing.
upcoming photographers. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I do have one final question. So you had mentioned earlier, some of the business aspect not being the sexy part of doing the thing, right? What is the sexy part of the business for you?
Making the money, man. No.
Where does it reside?
It resides in my pocket. No. I would say the sexy part is the actual shoot day. I started off as a portrait photographer, so it was really fun, being outside in the golden hour when the sun is just setting and the light hits so right, and you can see what the client can't see, so you get excited behind the camera, just
right.
catching those magical moments. Or what I do now when it comes to the product photography, I tell a story with the products that I'm doing, and they're not typical just random images, and so just kind of getting the reaction from the clients, like, oh my God, I never knew my product could look so good. Kind of creating those feelings of emotion is really cool.
Okay.
So that's the sexy part for me.
Wonderful. That's cool.
Fire. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Y'all, it's Women's Month. Make sure you are supporting a woman-owned business. It matters. A Black-owned business. Okay? That's so amazing. We really appreciate you sharing all of your expertise and like a little insight into your journey. That's really fire. But Women's Month is just beginning, y'all.
Absolutely.
And we have another segment for you.
Oh wait, I just heard also. Sorry to interrupt. My mentor, my mentor told me that if you're a business and you're on Google, register a Black Heart to show that you're a Black-owned business. I did not know that. I was like, oh, I need to do that now, so that people can find you. But yeah, you can go into your settings and I think it's you say that you identify as a Black-owned business, because I already have one that identifies as a woman-owned business. So.
That's right. Hey, y'all. Keep game. Thank you for that.
That's the non-sexy part of it.
I'm making that note for later. Thank you.
So Warren mentioned we have one more segment.
Yes.
It is Women's Month.
Hello.
And I think this next topic is kind of going to, bring everything together. This is a woman that she has an OnlyFans page.
Yes.
And
sex work is real work.
All day. And she makes I think the article said like $150,000 a month or something like that.
Sex work is better work. God
you know
damn.
what I'm saying? Like, hello. But anyway, she has three sons, right? Sex work. But because those three sons go to Catholic school. As a product of Catholic school, Holy Angels all day, Saint Rita, Mustang, you know what it is.
Gang gang.
It does cost that pretty penny, so
because a lot of them are like private schools.
All of them are private schools.
Oh, amen.
Yeah, because separation of church and state. So government plan having public schools. If you want to say anything about religion,
the Lord our Father.
Exactly. Then it's private and it's gonna cost you. This woman with her three sons got them expelled. She didn't get them expelled, but her page got them expelled because the private school, saw it and kind of, reached out and was like, hey, this is unbecoming of, somebody that has such and such, and there's different rules and regulations, etc. And so those 3 sons are going somewhere else now.
Who was being a hypocrite? Somebody was watching that. So who?
Hello.
Well, I mean,
that part though, for real.
So I mean, the thing is, if we were like, yo, man, what is your? If kids are talking to each other, they talk to each other all the time. Well, hey, man, what's your mom? Oh, yeah, she works on the internet. They're like, oh, your mom works on the internet? Oh, Mrs. Johnson, is this your mom? So it could have been like a kid's discovered thing, and then other parents might have had a conversation about it with the school or something like that.
No, what I know about Catholics and the priest and their lack of wanting to use contraceptive, somebody was watching her OnlyFans. You're nasty, and it's okay. It's okay. This is what I don't like. Religious organizations, or I'm not a fan of organized religion because of the kind of control they try to exert over people. And I feel like for centuries, people have been trying to control women's bodies. And a lot of them do it through religious means, like anti-abortion, this and that. It goes against this, Stop trying to police and control women's bodies. If you're a sex worker, that's real work. And a lot of people appreciate your sacrifices. Everybody can't do it. A lot of people appreciate that shit. People are watching it. They need it. People need a release. And I feel like sex is just too taboo in America, personally. But for you to try to shame this woman and then expel her children because what she does for work isn't becoming, go to hell. Go to hell. It makes me mad. Child, and as much money as she making, shit, fuck school. Shit, I ain't going back to school. My mama made more money than shit I'd ever make with this little diploma. Cut this diploma.
You have any thoughts on the?
No, I mean I agree wholeheartedly. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's one thing for the racism to get you fired, but it's if this has nothing to. It's you getting fired for having a crazy Instagram, and then your boss sees it and it's well, as a representative of this company, it's why are you on my private Instagram?
Hello.
This has nothing to do with what I do from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But yeah, it's if I'm not showing up naked at the PTA meetings, then
mind your business.
Yeah, it's you can have anonymity. Don't tell people that I'm messing with the mic. Don't tell people that my kids go to your school. You told me, you showed me to the world.
I'm going to have a different opinion than everybody else. Which is it happens. So yes. Sexuality is, too taboo in the U.S. Yes, women sex workers are, workers also, etc. All the things. My only kind of gripe in the whole situation is that it's a private school. So if it was like a public school or something like that, and everybody's kids go to, if you don't pay for school, then your kids have to go to a public school. You know what I mean? Or if you're on homeschooling or something like that. But you can choose not to have them go to public school and take them somewhere else. Go to private school. All the private schools have a code of conduct in the handbook, and because it is private, I feel like their interpretation of whatever the code of conduct is, whether it be sex workers, or whether it be drug dealers, if they don't want drug dealers doing paying for tuition with drug money for whatever reason, whatever their beliefs are. I think as a private school with their own rules and regulations, etc. I don't know that I agree with it. I just understand how it occurred.
Yeah, I understand that it's hypocritical because y'all pay lots of money to cover up all the things that priests do to little boys. That's a known fact. There's a lot of hypocrisy in organized religion, and that is what makes me mad. And also, did y'all think about these kids? Because now you're putting some kind of shame on the children. Y'all got to get out because your mama nasty. Y'all can't go here because what your mama do is unacceptable. In my personal opinion, that's not your place. You're there to educate. Here's the fucking money. You didn't ask me what I did when you start taking my money.
It's true.
That's the part. If you really got such a strict code of conduct, why ain't there no screening? What do you do for a living? How are you paying us? What is that? Blah blah blah.
But that does happen though. There is an interview process in a lot of private schools and Catholic schools where they kind of discuss they interview the child, they interview the parents, and it's a whole situation.
And y'all let them in. And y'all let them in. That's my thing. And you let her 3 kids go to the school, and then you find out what she did for a living, and you kick them out. I just feel like it's hypocritical, but shout out to you, girl. $150K a month. Jesus Christ. I might start one just to see what I can do. See if I can just get a little
I
change.
started one for a couple of days.
Just a little change.
I started one for a couple of days. I didn't get no tips, so I had kind of deactivated. Well, I hid it. It's still out there.
Come on,
It's
here.
still out there. You hide my page. You know.
It's in a vault. That's hilarious.
So that's it.
Dang.
So hey, Nadia, thank you for being on the show. We really appreciated your time and all your gems and everything that you brought to us. So
Oh, yes.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now you know we cannot end the episode.
Without going to let it burn. I got you. You give me a second. Can I get there? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. Go
So
ahead.
So now it's time for Let It Burn.
No, it's not. It's not. We gotta do white shit.
What do you want from me, man?
Things that white people do. That's
Because white people be doing a lot of shit. They be doing stuff. I don't know if you know any white people or see them in action as they're doing stuff, but they be doing stuff, bro.
So for this white shit,
Talk to me.
we talked about this a little off camera. Let's talk about the first time we truly experienced racism. Because I know we were talking about that a little bit. You want to kick it off?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to have been about, I guess, 18 or 19. I was working, out of high school. And I was working in a warehouse with my aunt just to make some quick cash, And up front, the warehouse is hot. You're standing up all day, 8 hours a day. You only get like 15-minute breaks and half-an-hour breaks. And so in the back, we're all standing up, packing boxes. And in the front is like where the air conditioner is. They're like running machines to do paper, and this white woman, she comes to the back to my aunt to say, I need help, and she didn't want, it was mostly like black and Hispanics, and so she didn't want any Hispanics. She was like, I need someone to speak English, and I was like, they all speak English,
Yeah.
And so my aunt was like, yeah, my niece can come help you. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. And I was like, oh, is air up here? Air, because this is summertime, it was hot, and so she was like, here, you sit right here. I was like, oh, I can sit down, So she gave me a stool. She showed me how to run the machine. And I did it for like maybe 10 minutes. Then she disappeared and I have no idea where she went. 10 minutes later, my name is called on the intercom. And I get called to the front office. And I'm just like, all right, what did I do? Get there, the manager's like, Nadia, such and such said that you were sleeping on the job. And I was like, what? I was like, sleeping? What do you mean? And she was like, yeah, were you asleep? Like, you're supposed to be working. And like, she was interrogating me. And I was like, I was wide awake. Like, I have so many witnesses. Yeah. And my aunt came bursting in the room. And she was like, where the hell is it? How dare she? And they had to like drag her out. I thought she was gonna, beat her up. But I was just like, I don't understand. Like, why did she lie? The white woman. The one
lied on you and said that
she disappeared.
The one that saw you working.
Yes, she disappeared. She told me what to do. She disappeared. Told the manager that I was no.
Sometimes I get squinty eyes, but you know what I'm saying.
But I didn't realize that she did that out of she just didn't like me. She's racist. And like, it was years later, I was like, she tried to get me fired for no reason.
Yeah.
And like, yes, she came and asked for help, got the help, and then she cut herself down at her knees and was like, oh, well, let me get her fired. I'm like, who's going to help you? So that was the first time I really experienced that. And I was like, wow, I really didn't do anything but be black and help,
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's trash.
Mm-hmm.
Hate it.
Wherever you are, fuck you. So my first time experience like real racism. So I grew up in Atlanta. People know that. From my perspective, I've grown up mostly around black people my whole life, and so there wasn't like a lot of room for racism because I didn't really know that many white people. And I remember when I got into Georgia Southern down in Statesboro, my parents were driving me down there. And we stopped at a gas station. And it wasn't like name brand, y'all. One BP, Emico. It was like Uncle Bob. It was just some shit. Because it's like a small like town back in 2006. It's much bigger now. And I remember my dad got out to pump gas. My mom was like, oh, go get us some water. So I went into the store. And I'm just like minding my business. And I'm trying to get water. And I hear behind me, what you doing, boy? You need some help? And I, because I'm not looking at you. I'm like, he ain't talking to me. So I'm just doing whatever he said. Boy, you heard me. You need some help. And so then I kind of looked over my shoulder, and it was the man, the attendant. And I was like, do I need help? And he was like, boy, do you need something in here?
3 times.
And all I can remember was my granddad, who, rest his soul, he was like a great historian, but he used to tell stories about like what it meant when they called you boy, how he felt drinking out of like colored water fountains. These were the experiences he grew up with. So I knew from him like what that was, but I didn't think in 2006 that would ever happen to me. And I just put the water down and I walked out. I got in the car. My mom was like, "What happened to the water?" I said, "We're not thirsty. Let's go." And I didn't even tell my parents what happened. It was so jarring. You know what I mean?
that makes
And
sense.
I remember they dropped me off. Like I sat in my room and then I cried.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I had set my my dad's 70, almost 72 now. I set him up with an email some years ago. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, what you want your email address to be?" He's like, boy.who.jw something. And then I'm like, this don't make no damn sense. What kind of jibber jabber is this? Are you okay? Do I need to get you tested? Like, what's going on? But then it took me like some years to realize that, you know, in his perspective was that it's boy who kind of at whatever gmail.com or something like that, you know. So that just kind of, you know, made me think about that. And I, you know, who knows what kind of
experiences he had. Right.
Exactly. But wow, that's amazing. Do I go now?
Yes.
So first time we experienced racism. So, you know, living in Chicago, it's pretty segregated up there. You know, so I was on the black south side of town. So, you know, but then when I came down to Albany, I'm sorry. When I came to Albany, you know, in the house, don't know as many people. I'm like, oh man, I just got this bike. I'm gonna start riding my bike, you know, just around the neighborhood, just, you know, different places as a kid does. I was 15, 16 years old, somewhere around there. Bike game strong, you know what I mean? And I had, I was in like this apartment, like it could have been apartments, I guess. So maybe like condos or townhomes. It was a townhome like situation. And I was just, you know, riding my bike in like a little area. You know, I was in the front, and then there was like a little back area, but it had like a sidewalk where, you know, everybody's like houses were like shared, but you could like just ride down the sidewalk, you know, depending on whichever house you were going to, you know what I'm saying? And then this white guy came out, he was like, hey, this here is private property. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, you know, go ahead and get out, and I just, you know, rode home. And I was like, as I was riding home, I was like, wait a minute, how you know I ain't live there?
That part.
You know, it wasn't like a small community. It was like 30, like maybe like 30, 50 houses or something like that. But when I thought about that, I was like, hold on, it's not like I was just riding a bike going from here to there. It was just that him thinking that he could exercise that power to be like, hey, get out of here, get out of here, you know, for whatever reason, just because, you know, I was black, he was white, and he could, and, you know, we're in Albany, Georgia, the same city that arrested Dr. Martin Luther King back in the day. So, you know, that was one of the most, you know, poignant times I remember. So, yeah.
That's real. White people cut that shit out. It ain't cute, and nowadays it'll get you fucked up.
You read about that?
Okay.
You see that white dude got punched outside that Popeyes? When the whole spicy chicken sandwich
Oh,
thing?
No.
yes.
You seen that, right?
Yes.
I didn't see it. I saw that white dude that got punched in that gas station because he kept using the M-word.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Yeah. Oh, when he got hit with the damn the
when,
bottle.
When you see black people pick up an object and start like ninja moving it, be careful. He was like, say it again. Don't say it again, people. That's not.
Yeah, flipped it.
He was like this. And he smited him. He didn't hit him, he was smoked. Like, I ain't never seen nobody get smited.
Yeah.
He smoked that nigga. And so I'm like, you know, white people just, we are not our ancestors.
Yeah.
You know, we have bail money. So I just put that okay, we're not just going to sit in jail. We beat your ass and get out. Okay? Believe that. Okay, it's COVID too. They not locking niggas up. They really not. You know, it's just
It's a free-for-all right now. It is.
Salt. Man, if you don't
They're
go
like,
home.
please go home. We'll see you at your court date because we don't have time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was white shit, guys.
Yes.
You know, if you got any thoughts about, you know, any memories about your first time experiencing racism, you know, feel free to send them to us, and, you know, maybe we'll read them on the air or something like that, or maybe we won't, and we'll just cherish them, knowing that you were trying to connect with us.
Solidarity.
Whatever. But with that being said, it's now time for our last segment of the day. Are you okay? You
I'm
ready?
good,
You got
yes.
anything else you want to say?
I don't know.
Because once we get here, we can't go back. Let it burn.
Yes.
Let it burn time. Warren, you know what you're letting burn?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. Nadia, you know what you're letting burn? All right, what you got going on?
Oh, okay. I am letting burn. This is social media related. I don't know if they're bots or just, you know, people that own businesses, but if you comment on one of my images and say DM me, I'm not going to. I'm letting that. I was like, what is that? It's like if you want to talk to me, message me.
Period.
I get it all the time. It's like DM me real quick. No. DM me on some business information. I want to work with you. No. So quit doing that, please. Yeah.
Period. Into the ashes.
It's so strange.
Oh, okay. Okay. So last week I let burn silence.
Yes.
That worked pretty well. I've been
Silent.
not only talking to myself, but talking to others, and so that's been beneficial. I had mentioned I was able to address some feelings with the set drama, etc. But so this week I'm letting burn kind of in action. Today you guys came here. Everything's kind of set up nice. But before 2 or 3 hours before you guys got here, everything was kind of like everywhere. And not for any particular reason besides, the Panasonic, as you mentioned before. It was just, but, I think everybody's at home, everybody's like on social media, doing the things and seeing everybody, having these, not the best feelings is being projected on social media as well. So, all that stuff is, contagious a little bit, right? So, I'm letting burn, in action. Yeah, thank you. I almost forgot it.
That part. And it's gone. Guys, what I'm letting burn this week is I thought I hit send on that text ass niggas. Let me talk to you niggas.
What?
I thought I hit send. I thought you was trying to get to know a nigga. But now I think I'm gonna have to fucking nigga. Like, I am so tired of I thought I hit send on that text ass niggas. Niggas, look, we're all busy. We all have stuff going on. We all whatever. If you are communicating with someone, and especially if y'all have made plans or like y'all supposed to get up or whatever, and you don't hear back from them, like if I text you and then I thought I hit send, and then you'll hear from me for hours, nigga, check your phone.
Like 2 hours or?
It's actually ridiculous. Like if we're in a conversation and I thought I hit send, you need to do better. Okay, it's really ridiculous. Grow up, and that's where I'm at. Grow up. I'm letting it burn. There's no excuse. We need to just communicate better. Communication is key. It's how we all get stuff done. Clear and effective communication.
What he said.
Into the ashes. Yes. So that was another episode of the Audacity Podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us. Shout out again to our special guest, Nadia. Nadia, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Nadia Anochie Photo. And like I said, my website is nadiaanochie.com. And if you want to email me, that's hello@nadiaanochie.com.
Yeah, which y'all do want to email her because she's fucking amazing. She will elevate your brand. She will really bring your concept to life. She's amazing. Make sure y'all check her out. It's Women's Month. Support a woman-owned business.
Absolutely.
Especially black women.
But don't tell her you're about to DM her. Just do it.
Yeah,
Just do it.
Just email her, actually. Just more professional.
Whichever one. But with all that being said, thank you guys, and until the future.
Bye.